is at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's McCarthy. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies will try and force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. They find some open field here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Here's 2nd and 10. To the air with McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
Yeah, boy, now you see him, now you don't. Excellent move, nice run, winds up getting about 6.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Addison will go in motion left. On play action, now McCarthy. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Jones. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they don't even need to run a 2nd down play. Give them the 1st.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually 3rd down, 4th down? They got them on 2nd down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
So now then the penalty's got them set up with a 1st and goal. Looking to throw McCarthy. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Trey Hendrickson. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Throwing is McCarthy. Complete to Addison on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They'll still have a 3rd and goal now despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play. Now McCarthy. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 2. Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. Looking deep here for Chase. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Play action. It's Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now Burrow. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Again, it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Back to throw. McCarthy. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Jefferson going to go in motion right. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Well, you've told me before it's great to be an athlete. A lot of great athletes out there. It's good to have instincts, and he has those.
I would take those above athleticism in a lot of cases, because if you know where the ball's going before anyone else can get there and block you, you can make up for lack of athleticism by being in the right spot at the right time.
And took him down in the backfield with those instincts. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. Here's Ryan Rico now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And out now come the Vikings. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Up the middle, Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
McCarthy off the play fake. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. The offense on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. That is caught. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll work down inside the 45. Second and 7. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw. McCarthy. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Burrow looking to pass. Now a short one to Gesicki. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, They're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And that's on the guard, Cody Ford. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Burrow will throw. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Well, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. Open man is Higgins. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Open man is Yoshivas. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I do think that sometimes on 3rd and long, many defenders just get caught watching the sticks instead of watching the ball. And the guy who's got it, because here, they just got the ball into the receiver's hands and told him to do it yourself, a little bit of a desperation play. And he was able to take the short throw and turn it into a big gain and a conversion on 3rd down. That's a big pickup.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals are able to stretch out their lead.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, McCarthy. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. An inside give, Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers, and if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
Byron Murphy there on the tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now it's Burrow. This one hauled in by Sample. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. From midfield now, Burrow. Here's Higgins out of the right side. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's Burrow. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. T. Higgins was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'd been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
Again, he'll drop to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Burrow. This one complete to Yoshivas. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Now Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. And Burrow going to throw again. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's 2nd and 3. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now it's Burrow. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Jefferson going to go in motion right.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Third down and 6. Here's McCarthy. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Now 2nd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They'll look to throw again. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And that is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Again, it's Burrow. Gesicki hauling in the quick throw. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Burrow looking to pass. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Off the bootleg, here's McCarthy. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing is McCarthy. Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
To the air with McCarthy. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Burrow will throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
They'll come up now 3rd. From the shotgun, he's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football. Concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They snap that at 1. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Yoshivas. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Looking deep here for Chase. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Moore, the man in motion. And inside give to Jones. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On play action, now McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now McCarthy. That is caught, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That throw right on the money from the quarterback from Michigan. It's a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Going underneath, he's got Hockenson, and he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's 2nd and 7. The give is to Jones. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw McCarthy. He has his target. It's Addison. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone. And they hit him for the completion for the 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Jones has it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and a yard. This is Brown going up the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Burrow. Quick slant to Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Burrow on his toes that time as they get the 1st down. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, here's Brown. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Right back to Brown. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. 3rd down, here's Brown. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was, because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Here's McCarthy. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again, McCarthy. Slant route, and he's got Addison. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6. They'll go again to Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 4. Up the middle, Jones. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it with Mason. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's Burrow. He's got his man. That's Sample, the tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Another run for Brown on 2nd down. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
55 yards rushing for him now to this point. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Play action. It's Burrow. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now it's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. It's T. Higgins with a touchdown pass from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second in a couple. To the air with McCarthy. He gets it to Addison. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a first down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down. Throwing is McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
McCarthy going to throw again. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now McCarthy. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And that flag accepted. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Sticking with the pass. Here's McCarthy. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Looking to throw McCarthy. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th. One final shot. They'll look to throw. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.